If you have a wing scapula and sick and tired of hearing, just fire up your serratus anterior and keep watching. I've worked with hundreds of people who would do wall slides for years when nothing would change. And the problem wasn't the efforts or the type of exercise they were doing. The problem was that no one was explaining why their serratus wasn't working in the first place. And that's why today I'm going to be giving you the hidden steps you need to fix your wing scapula. We're starting with the stuff that no one talks about. But before we get into this, let me quickly tell you who this is for. If you haven't even tried exercises yet for your wing scapula, go and do those first because that could be the easiest solution right now for you to fix it. Or if you've been told you have some kind of structural issue by your doctor, then this probably isn't going to help you either. But if you've already tried every exercise out there and you're structurally fine, then this video is for you. And to be clear, we're not going to be doing any exercises here for your serratus anterior because there's probably a good chance you know a lot more different exercises than I do in order to fire it up. So what I'm going to do here is show you the hidden steps that you need to go through in order to actually get that muscle to wake up. So with that said, why can't you fire up your serratus anterior in the first place? And the answer is that it's blocked by two different pathways. With the first one being neurological. You see, the long thoracic nerve, the same nerve that helps the serratus fire up, it has to travel through a bunch of different muscles that we use every single day in order to get there and do its thing. And what this means is if any of these portions between the brain and that muscle gets cramped or gets overused, basically, it can create compression on that nerve, resulting in a weaker signal or no signal at all. Now, the main culprit for this, the main spot that's going to create that compression is going to be your scalene. These are your neck muscles that are located on the side. And this is pretty much the first spot that your nerves and blood vessels pass out of your neck and into your shoulder, which goes down into your arm. So any problem that kind of goes into your chest, arm area, this can all be contributed thanks to tight scalenes, because that's the first place your nerves and blood vessels come through. So think of it like a hose with water running through it, right? Obviously, you want a bunch of water going through it, good pressure. But if you kink one side of that hose near the scalenes, well, the problem happens at the end where the water comes out. It's not where that kink is. And the same concept is happening here with your serratus anterior. Basically, because the nerves are getting cramped, either in the neck or maybe somewhere else, mainly probably because of the neck, then that's probably not allowing a good signal or a strong signal to be sent to the serratus, which is why it's not firing up. So in order to fix this, all you need to do is begin releasing the scalenes, loosen these tissues up so that the nerves and blood vessels passing through them have some space and aren't getting cramped. You can easily do this by performing self-massage techniques. Go ahead and apply some pressure to the muscle. What I'm doing here is basically just looking for the most tender spot on the side of the neck. And when I find that one tender spot, I'm simply going to hold pressure there and pay attention to what that pain is doing. Because if that pain gets worse and worse and worse, it might be on a nerve or some blood vessels and things like that. But if the pain begins to move, dissipate, or just stay the same, then I'm probably on an area that needs to be released, an area that is creating that compression in the first place. Do this for roughly 30 seconds up to 3 minutes because it could take that long for these tissues to begin to move and loosen. But once you do that, you can also follow it up with one of my favorite techniques, a pin and stretch. All you're going to do is simply take that muscle, cramp it down kind of. I'm going to pin it down, pushing down towards my shoulder, and then I'm going to tilt my head in the opposite direction in order to stretch that muscle out while pinning down the most tender spot. This is kind of like a 2-for-1 where you get to release the muscle and stretch it out at the same time. So now the second reason your serratus is having a hard time firing up is what is called synergistic dominance. It's synergistic dominance. And basically what this means is one muscle is taking over all the work for the other muscles that's supposed to be contributing to that specific movement. So in the case of the serratus anterior, the main movement it performs is protraction. It pulls the scapula away from the spine whenever it contracts. Well, there's another muscle that does this all the time as well, and that is the pec minor. Now, the pec minor is probably being overused. It's probably super strong and super tight compared to the serratus anterior, meaning this muscle is doing 90 to 95% of the work every time you do this protraction, resulting in the serratus not being able to carry its load and get stronger and therefore stay weak. So this is basically like a couple of different workers, right? Where you have that one dude who's constantly just doing all of the work. He's the one that people can rely on, and he's constantly given more work over and over, and then they get burnt out. It's pretty much the military right there. But then you have the slackers who just you can't rely on, who are completely useless and are just hanging out, just trying to make it through the day. That right there is your serratus. And right now, we need to switch those roles up. We need to help that pec minor chill out, and then we need to then fire up that serratus in order to get it to start doing the work. So just like the scalenes, in order to help those muscles loosen up, we need to help the pec minor relax, and we can again do this with self-massage techniques. You can perform these different kind of techniques on the pec minor by grabbing something like a foam roller or a 5-inch ball and placing it up in the top corner of the chest. This is where the pec minor is located, right underneath it. Now, once you find a good tender spot, hold pressure there for about 30 seconds up to 3 minutes. And now from here, do a pin and stretch. Again, pin down that tender spot, and then just take your arm through its full ranges of motion in order to help those tissues slide and to help the muscle lengthen. Now, once you're done releasing both the pec minor and the scaling, then this is the time for you to go back and try your exercises for your serratus anterior. Try your push-up pluses or your wall slides or whatever you're doing to fire up that muscle, because hopefully now that the nerve is unblocked going to the muscle, and his little friend, the pec minor, is relaxing, the serratus has no choice but to fire up and get stronger. If you want to learn more techniques just like this, make sure to join my brand new community. The link for that is in the description below. Or if you're just not ready for that yet, then go and watch this video up in the top corner to learn more about how your scapula actually works, because by learning how it works, you may actually learn some other little hidden reasons for why you have a weak scapula.